job. I am now doing that where I'm
Whenever
getting to watch
whenever you guys
things.
are ready, we're on.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
No, I had to check levels and everything anyway, so.
Okay. Well, hello, it's Brenda from Blue Planet Travel. Today we have a special guest. It's Valarie Storm. We saw her show last night. She is hilarious. So if you ever get a chance, I'm telling you, you have to see her. It's worth the wait. There was a line and we were lucky enough to get in. So,
well, thank you for coming to my show last night.
it was amazing. I about peed myself. I'm telling you, it's just hysterical.
Always my goal. Always my goal.
So, just a reminder to everyone, because some people may not know this. There's the clean shows and there's not so clean shows. So if you're not one for the adult shows, go to the child shows with the little, where they don't do those things, just so you know, because some people actually didn't know that. They were talking about that in one of the elevators. So be prepared, check it out, figure out which one you're going to go to.
PG is usually like a TV clean set, you know, and kids are allowed to come, and then the R-rated is, you know, we take our gloves off.
So how long have you been a comedian?
About 26 years.
26 years.
Yeah.
What made you want to be a comedian?
It is all I ever wanted to do. I was in a beauty pageant when I was about 5 years old, and I didn't want to do it. I grew up a tomboy, and my mom made me. So I go there and they're interviewing me. I made it to the finals and they said, hey, do you like going to kindergarten? And I grew up with a bunch of older brothers, so I was a little salty. I was like, hell no. And the place erupted in laughter. And my parents said, I just was like, what was that? And it was just that sound. I liked that sound. And then I seen a stand-up comedian. I was about 10 or 11, so I was able to put a name to what it is I wanted to do. And it took me a while to get there. There's no school to go to. You just kind of have to, you know, walk up behind a microphone and an open mic and just go for it. And, I mean, the first couple times are just terrifying. I could say about the first 2 years are terrifying.
Was it difficult getting your type of rhythm and your type of comedy? Because I know everyone has their own way of writing and stuff.
It is. You just gotta, you know, like I said, there's no formula to it, and everybody does it differently, and you know, you really have to go in and find your own voice.
Well, you definitely found yours.
Oh, well, thank you. And it's evolved over the years, you know. All these years I've been doing this, it's changed. And I think right now I'm probably my most authentic self I've ever been on stage. After a certain age, you just really you don't care what anybody thinks about you anymore. You're like, I become that old crusty, get off my lawn. Yeah. I don't know.
So is there anyone who inspired you?
One of the very first comedians I seen on TV was a guy named Bob Nelson. And I'd always seen like Bob Hope, and but that was the first one I'd seen where I actually put a name to what a comedian was, and he was hilarious. And also Rick Overton, and it was another one, and he inspired me to get into it. But one of my biggest influences was a female comic, and her name is Diane Ford. And she was, I mean, is hysterical, but she was the leading female comic when I was growing up. She had 3 HBO specials, and just her timing was just perfect. And in a weird twist of fate, she has ended up being one of my very good friends. So she lives about an hour north of me, and we've gotten to tour together and do some shows and work on ships. And so, you know, my childhood influence became one of my very, very good friends. She's wonderful.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, dreams come true.
So you guys have done shows together? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
You just-
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. One of the very first shows we ever worked together was over in West Palm Beach. They used to have a club called the Comedy Corner, which later on became the Improv. And we had gone out shopping that day. And I was a middle class kid, so I took her to the mall that had the J.C. Penney's and the Sears. I didn't know any better. She was like, where's the Nordstrom's? And I'm like, I don't even know what a Nordstrom's is, ma'am. And so I bought some new pants that day. And, a show comes, and I when you buy something new, you want to wear it. So I go on stage. I'm just the MC at this point, and I do my show, and feature goes up, and then Diane closes the show. And we're standing at the door saying goodnight to everybody as they leave. And the crowds part, and this guy comes walking through, and he is Calvin Klein model, good looking. And we're both like, oh. And he walks up to Diane, and he takes her hand, and he kisses it. He says, "You were beautiful and hilarious and so funny, and it's been such an honor to be at this show." And she was like, "Thank you." And then he looks at me and he goes, "And you have a sticker going up the back of your leg onto your ass that says large." And I forgot to take the sticker off my pants. And Diane laughed so hard she damn near fell off the stool she was sitting on. And years later we were working on the ship, and I reminded her of it, and she was like, she laughed just as hard the second time as she did the first. And we've been friends ever since.
So do you strictly do cruises, or do you do things like on land?
I do. I started out on land. Nobody starts on a cruise ship. So yeah, I work clubs and all over the place, and I like the cruise ships because you have such a wide group of people. Every demographic is on this ship. Every religion and race and part of the country and everything. So I often say that working clubs around the country is like going to comedy college. But coming to a ship and having to do all the shows that we have to do and tearing apart your act or putting it back together is like going to comedy college or like a master's program, and it makes you a much better comic. And everybody goes, "Well, I can do the ships, but you're unprepared until you get here, until
Wow.
you get to the thick of it, and it's hard."
Oh, I can never,
for the first
I can
few
never
years.
do what you do. Oh,
I just was in my cabin just writing, like, "Oh, okay, all right." You have to take your whole act and break it up, because when you're on the road, you usually have one act that you follow, and you polish it and you work it up every night. And, okay, here's a little punchline, or you add this, or you add a tag. But here, you take everything apart, and I do 5 shows, so there's you spread it out between there, and then you build on each. So it made me a better writer, it made me a better performer, and I do like the ships, and I like the clubs too.
so you probably do a whole bunch of traveling.
Yes, I came from Nova Scotia down to Dominican Republic to get to this ship. Yeah, I was,
And how often you go from ship to ship?
I work more than I'm home, definitely. I probably will do about 52 contracts this year on the ships, and then some land gigs, and so I've been working a lot at ships this year. I lost my home during a hurricane, so trying to rebuild.
Oh my goodness.
Where are you from?
Fort Myers, Florida. I lost it in Ian a year ago today.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was always playing with the idea of being a minimalist, but I thought I'd be able to choose the stuff I was going to throw away.
Nah, not this time.
The universe just went, we'll just get rid of all of it. I'm like, okay, that's good.
So where you're originally from?
Fort Myers, Florida.
You are from Fort Myers? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a sixth generation Florida native. So, should be in a glass case somewhere.
Yeah, very rare. There's always somebody who's been displaced from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's lucky I didn't grow up with a New York accent. We have a lot of New Yorkers.
Exactly. I'm actually from Jersey. I got rid of mine, so.
Yeah, I don't think, it's weird because Floridians don't really have a southern accent. We have a little maybe twang, but I mean, then you go up to North Carolina, South Carolina, and then they have a really thick southern accent. It's always been weird to me.
Yep. Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, those different things. Yeah. West Virginia has their own.
Yep. Everybody has a little different accent everywhere. My son's dad, my ex-husband, was from Boston, and I'm Floridian, Southern, and I don't even know how we carried on a conversation. And he hasn't lived there in 30 years. I still can't understand it. I'm like, dude, really? Now I think he lives in Louisiana. I'm like, how's that going?
Does that make it worse? Throw a little something else.
So you got any bucket list gigs or anything as a comedian that you want to do?
Yes, I'd like to work Vegas more. I have a specific club in mind there that I'd like to work.
Brad not calling?
Yes, I would.
Brad Garrett, give her a call.
Yeah, please.
Come on, Brad.
Come on, Brad.
There's a couple, at least over a year wait list on that club, so a little harder to get in. And that's about it. I've done pretty much everything else I've wanted to do. I just haven't really cracked that Vegas egg, which it sounds like a great gig when somebody gets their residency in Vegas, because they just get to go home after the gig.
Yeah.
And wow, that sounds nice.
Seeing how you have a big commute.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm not exactly sure where I am. I just have to take a minute. Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about your writing process? How you come up with your material?
Well, it just comes kind of naturally, a punchline or whatever I think is funny. And, you get that little first nugget, and then you just build off of that. I'm a huge fan of writing it out, pencil to paper. I know a lot of people, they're using their computers and their phones and stuff, but I find it clicks more in my memory if I write everything out. And like my set list, I do a set list for every show that I do. And it's kind of like, when you were in school and you misbehave, you're like, Valarie will not speak in class. So I write it out, and it gives me the, knowing your material backwards and forwards gives you the opportunity to, stop and go into the crowd when you need to, or slip a new line in and then be able to keep your place when coming back to it. And, sometimes there's several different processes. Sometimes it comes when you're on stage. Sometimes it just pops out of your mouth, or those usually tags. And though I did come up with an entire bit like last month, and it just, boom, it just came, the whole segment just came out completely done. Which is unusual. Usually, it takes a little bit of editing to get it right, but for some reason, that just came out completely grown up.
How about
So is there anybody that, any up and comers or anybody you're following right now that maybe you'd want to work with one day, or just somebody that you're following that you like what they're doing?
Right now, I've been focusing on my house. So I don't really go online, and I don't like to watch too many other comedians because I don't want to corrupt my own creative process, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes you can hear something, you know, like that bit that I just came up with. When it came out truly formed, I was like, I didn't hear that somewhere, did I? And I had to go back and look, and I'm like, nope, that was mine. And, but yeah, I don't like to, there's this girl that I did see on it. She's had 2 specials, Taylor Tomlinson. And I gotta be honest, when her first special came out, she was 25 years old. And I was like, you know, it takes a little time to become seasoned. So when I watched her special, I was like, okay, well, we're gonna see. And she was hysterical. I mean, her facials and her material and her tags, and I mean, she was great. I thought she was really great, and I am very excited to see what she will do in the future. And her second special was just as good. So, yeah, I guess I'm following her.
You got anything that you can think of?
Anything you want to talk about? Anything you have going on?
Anything you want to promote? Anything, you know?
No, not right off.
Brad? Come on, Brad, give her a call.
Call me, sir. Are you a really good job?
She's hilarious.
I used to have a Yorkie too.
Oh.
I see pictures. I follow some people that go there, and one had a picture of his little Yorkie, and I was like, yeah, I miss mine. I had her 16 years.
Aww.
Yeah, my ex-husband forbid me to get that dog. Forbid me. So I wasn't even going to buy that dog. But when he forbid me, the line was in the sand. And then they told me the dog was $4,000, and I was like, okay. The line is in the sand. Okay. But I only had that husband 2 years more after that conversation, but I had that dog for 16 years, so it was a good trade-off.
There you go. Yeah. That's right. All right, well, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate you spending the time. And everyone, are you on Facebook?
I'm on everything.
She's on everything. Follow
my
her.
name is spelled Valarie. My parents spelled it a little bit differently. I often say it's because they were Southern and they sounded it out. They were like, Valarie. That's an A. But if I was from New Jersey, it would have been Valarie.
So, since, you know, can't do that accent anymore. But follow her, and we'll put it on the screen somewhere, here, there, somewhere. And follow her. She's hilarious. You're going to love her. And you might love her as much as I do.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff, ring the bell, whatever they call that. Anyway, thank you so much. And remember, Blue Planet Travel, what? Cut. All right, everybody, this is going to go for all those little bloopers that he's going to throw into one of these shows.
Okay.
You deserve a great vacation. Let Blue Planet get you there. Bye for now.